October 2nd, 2011, in Apple Fest. Well, we're here. What to call a busy place.
why do you have your face in camo? And I said, it's the Apple Fest. And he's like, yeah, so.
Or like Halloween.
That's right. Would you like an apple?
A little demo of painting your face, right? He doesn't look too happy. He's having fun.
He gets his face painted every chance he gets.
Oh, yeah? Talking about a crowd, eh? Old-time Saltspring Island.
Where?
Apple lovers, welcome to Salt Spring and our 13th annual Apple Festival. And one of the greatest things is when I look around this room and I see children here getting connected with apples. That's one of the things we try to do with Apple Festival, is get lots of kids involved because it's so important. And the kids, we have a couple now teenagers with 10 years experience at this festival. I think that's just the greatest. Anyway, I think the other thing I'd like to do is just make sure that we think about Mother Nature this year, because she did all of this. If you look around here, we have 302 varieties of apples this year, all grown organically on Salt Spring, and it's just incredible. We had a team of 50 people last night come here and put that together alphabetically, so it was just fantastic. So, once you leave here, you get to go out and really connect with all the growers of apples and all the apple trees, and you get to taste, and that's the type of thing that really will connect you with exactly your favorite apple, is to get out and do some tasting. So, I'm not going to speak much longer here. One of the things we like to do on Salt Spring is bring back some historical characters, and this Apple Festival has been a little magic, and what it's tend to do, the presence of that many apple varieties tends to bring back some characters from the dead. And today we have Mr. James Hector Monk, who's going to come here and give us a little talk. Mr. Monk, come on up on stage here.
Well, hello, Captain Apple. It's a great pleasure and a privilege to me to come back from the dead and visit the old Fulford Hall, which opened in 1921, and I used to come here when I was farming apples at the south end, the Beaver Point Road area. Thanks to Captain Apple's time machine, I'm here. I farmed apples on Eleanor Point, which is at the end of King Road, down from Beaver Point Hall. 160 acres, and I farmed it for 40 years. So I know apples, and I know what a great man you have here in Captain Apple, and I thank you, Captain Apple, for what you do for apples and for the South End. Now, you may notice that I have a slight accent. I was born in Somerset, in England. In 1870, my father was headmaster of a grammar school, so I had a good education. People spoke funny there. My brother Charles, who come here, he used to say, "James, I could spit on a flea." That's the kind of way they talk. Anyway, here I am. At a very young age, I left England and emigrated to Canada, what was then known as the colonies. The year I was born, BC just became a province. Anyway, I got to Saanich by train and boat, and I settled on Wilkinson Road, somewhere near that prison there. And I started teaching at the age of 16 at the Strawberry Vale School, which is a tiny school that's still there now. And I did a bit of apple farming too. Then in 1902, I acquired 160 acres of land. I acquired it from the government on Salt Spring. And I come over here with my family, and I started to clear the land down there, just south of King Road on Bay Ridges Road. And you know what? My farmhouse, Fernhill Farm, is still standing there today. If you go down Bay Ridges, on the first on the left is a red farmhouse. That's the house I built and raised my family and raised apples. I was very fortunate to have some very excellent Japanese farm workers who helped me clear the land, which was a big job in those days, and plant the apples, which were then a cash crop. It was very exciting. So there I was, in the middle of nowhere, growing apples. I had 4 children through my wife, May, Margaret.
And here we have the Queen.
Oh, wait.
Spartans and the Crabtrees for inviting us here today. Even before we left Great Britain to tour your great North American continent, we had a royal duty to perform, and that was the presentation of this year's Canadian Golden Shaft Award. This year's Golden Shaft Award went to, once again, Gordon Campbell. For being rejected by the electorate of British Columbia and still being appointed Canadian ambassador to Great Britain.
Smoke another joint.
Upon our arrival in British Columbia, we were much impressed with the spirit of cooperation evidenced by festivals such as these and the recent Fall Fair.
Here we are driving on Saltspring. This is the home of Apple Fest. Heading out to the next farm.
He's got Christmas trees on shore.
Amazing.
Please turn up the heat. Hey, you can look up too by visiting Flashback on Facebook. Go to www.facebook.com/itsflashback. Flashback was programmed and produced by Chili Television.
Here we are, another main highway in Saltspring Island. Or are we in Alaska, on the Alaska Highway? Here we are at Appalicious.
There's a definite apple.
Do you ever go to Moss Street Market? Mary goes to Moss Street Market. And on this table, with the blue cloth, there's a sign-up sheet if you're interested in leaving your information. He emails people a few days before the market to let them know what varieties he's bringing.
The market's still
It's on for a little while yet. Yeah. So
Sure,
if
go
you
for
want
it.
to leave your info, you can. Otherwise, if you want
Eat it.
to...
Look at all the apples. I'm just gonna figure out. I was just
Oh, that's a lot of apples.
they just sting you. Wasps is what they sting you.
Is the Honey Crispy or apple?
He has some. See where it says HB?
Oh,
it's not
Harry
mine.
Burton?
I'm a
Okay.
neighbor. That's Harry
It's
Burton.
one of my favorites. Okay, so that's the key for who might sell the trees.
So how many varieties of jam do you have?
12,
12?
including chutneys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Make them all yourself?
9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. Yeah, I do them throughout the year, whatever's in season. Try to do as organic as possible.
Mm-hmm. Pretty neat, eh?
Yeah.
You're a hard-working guy.
Well, that's what I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it since I was a little boy. Chefing.
Second stop, have you been up to Philip Heather?
No, full food here, and then we're gonna go there, and apparently they've got a barbecue or something going on.
They've got beans, they've got a something on the pit, you can take that for when you'll need it. There'll
you
be some
are
sort
a
of a
good
crisis
man.
at some point, I'm
She loves
sure.
you now.
And if there isn't, you could make one. We
Make
need
one.
brownies.
I need a brownie. A
Yeah.
brownie crisis. Thank you. So
Barbara,
this week sometime.
When, you know, I haven't wanted to harass you in any way.
Do you want to wander around in his jungle?
Sure.
There's another piece, don't
No panic.
There you
It's
are.
about to be a riot. Hey guys, you want to go sit down on the chairs and eat those?
Are they good? Gonna save some for me? Jeez, I don't know about that guy.
Come on guys, let's sit down.
Here we have a variety of fruit trees. Mostly apples, but some plums. Between 3 and 5 acres of land. They obviously don't have a riding mower, so you just sort of let the grass grow and go for it. Ooh, looks like we got a pear tree. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Whatever. There's a few apples. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, keep it zoomed in on him for no, he's gone. And it's called the chicken jail.
Come here, bud.
Okay. Move on. And there we have a poor man's greenhouse.
There's some pretty big ones in there.
So those are all over a pound, eh?
Yeah. Do you want a bag or do you?
Yeah. It's a little pricey, but.
Have you been to Apple?
Was you really busy?
These grapes are a little late. They should be larger this time of the year.
Snip off an end, and then put it in a pot, or in the ground, really. We put it just a little bunch of them in the ground, and then see which ones root.
Right.
And then if they root, we put it in the pot, and that's all of these stuff.
But are you going to, ultimately, are you going to try to sell fig trees, or are you going to try to sell figs?
Well, these two in front are not old, they're Bramleys.
Right.
And beside it's a plum tree. Right. And over here there's a pear tree still with pears.
Right.
Basically everything else. So this guy's a Baldwin.
Yeah.
This one.
Oh, look at this, Gordon, the peacock. To the right. Look at him. Oh, he's a beauty.
Hey, bud.
Don't scare him. Oh, he's gorgeous. Ooh. Nobody could even paint you prettier than that. You are just gorgeous.
See the apples fall down and then the chickens peck them out and then they pick them up and throw them. The chickens trying to get in there.
Yeah, but it'll take a while.
Can we get
He's all lost. You catch them and put them in there.
What you can do with that.
Oh, look at the chicken.
If you like great cheese, this is the place.
Thank you. Take a couple. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome.
As long as you're not
This is all the sampling, right?
Yep, that's what that is.
Higher off the ground, more upright, easier to get out of, and they're tall. Oh, is that what it is?
Trunks and short asses like me. Good though.
Yeah.
I'd have to
There's
find
tables.
And there's
You think I got something for you, don't you? I wish I did, but I don't. But you're all right. There you go, bud. Here we are, downtown Saltspring. Geese Harbor.
you make a box of plywood and you just slip them in. You make a frame.
What, how high do you go?
Oh, I have.
Amazing. This is
what?
the
8 or 9
So about maybe 16 inches.
Yeah, you can have a foot, whatever.
So you're
you
about
wanna
4.5
have.
inches by 16. So
Yeah.
but it's still about 6.5 feet.
Yeah, 6 inches. Yeah, you want to make it look. You want to put some recess in there so that any kind of rain or whatnot doesn't come in. But they should be under a roof. You need to make or like even as a condo, that you put a roof over a frame, a bit, in the orchard. Two posts, a piece of plywood, anything, okay? And then you put your condos on that. And don't have anything in front of you. Don't have any vines going up. You gotta clear access to that. Otherwise you get repairs.
So it's just wide open to both ends?
No, it's closed in at the back end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's closed in at the back end. Yeah, closed in at the back end. So you make a box with a bunch of top. What's that? 3 inch wide, and I use brown. And then I use wedges.
Oh, I do in my garden.
Oh, so you go several stacks wide?
Oh, yeah. And it's on a very, very good.
Well, where do you get to? You buy them from, like I'm in Victoria, like the Chitlin, where they figure the sales have figuring stuff?
Yeah, you can. You can buy them here. Oh, yeah. A lot of garden shops
Have them in your refrigerator.
I don't.
Because the water disappears, or it
No,
stays there because of the clay?
It means it needs a rootstock that is going to be a lot deeper, because when it dries out at the surface, clay will dry out the surface. It needs to go right down further for its rooting, which means that you sometimes end up with a different kind of tree, because you'll end up with a tree that really wants to go straight up. But you want to when you're pruning a tree, you want to make sure that you're opening up the center for light and for air, because if you don't have air and light coming in your tree, you're not going to get a really good fruit.
Bent middle. Somebody's leaving.
They're shoveled in much. Exactly. They're a firm style pile. And they're wonderful. They're really common on Saltspring. There are a lot of
Ripening. Slowly ripening. So it'd be $3.50 and I'll give you back 5.
Yes. I probably have the same thing. Running low.
I wouldn't surprise.
Little tomato greenhouse. That's what happens when you don't wear a glove.
Yeah.
Here we have 7 acres of grapes. And we got a little fence. Keep the lefties out. What they've done here is cemented their poles into the ground on an angle, probably about 4 feet, 5 feet. Put a cable into the ground for support. It's a lot of weight. They got some beautiful grapes here. And there's the winery.
I think that is one behind. I don't know what they think of all the cars today.
Well, they got their own little orchard. This is all part of this waterfront property. We are entering this estate. Looks like 4 or 5 acres on the water.
Oh, you wanted to start too early. We were really late starters today.
Yeah, this is where the plane comes. Beautiful. I'm amazed she opened it up. Nice.
To jest to zrobione po prostu fantastycznie. Pretty ones. They're in their path to get to the bird. Yeah. They're all up on the trees.
Yep. This is the bird's private little area, it looks like.
That street that cuts over, remember?
Yep.
We did it once before, we came down the middle of the island. I'll meet you at the car. Okay?
Yeah. Is this property spectacular or what? Look at these trees. And its own private little beach. Pretty cool fence. See you guys. Well, what are we painting?
Trees.
Trees?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you got.
It's pretty bad. I'm just a beginner.
It's not bad.
But thanks.
Better than I can do. No, it looks good. Looks like a tree.
Yeah.
You sell them?
Yeah, I want to eventually.
Yeah. Sold any yet?
To only friends and family.
Okay. I'm neither, right?
Right. So you would be my first customer for this here wonderful memory of Apple Fest 2011.
How much money? Maybe the deer here will buy it off you. Well, I'm back where I started. Phenomenal place. And that's all. Leaving the Apple Fest.
Saltspring Island ferry flips. Everyone was thrilled.
You don't want to be in my video?
No, thank you.
I don't blame you. Oh, the camera just cracked. So I'm doing a little video on the whole thing today. So you're in it.
You're after all that politics.
For being a good guy.